Hey there, how y'all doing? It's me, Barb, and guess what? This is something different today. It's not a cookie, it's not a sweet, it's not a candy, it's not all that kind of stuff. This is something, but it's for the season. I was hoping to do it sooner, but hey, you know, you just got to go with the flow in life. Anyway, we are doing, as you told, we are doing apples. What do you mean apples? Well, because there are so many kinds of apples, especially during this season. And so I thought we'd go over and I'd taste some apples, and it might take me 2 videos, we'll just see. But so this is the deal now, is that when Penny and Daisy and I were in Saluda, you know, remember I took a little mini vacation. You might have seen the videos, they're back there. I stopped at the Apple Mill. That's what this place is called, the Apple Mill. Can you see that? In Saluda, North Carolina. That's south of Asheville, south of Hendersonville, and on 26 and exit 59. Now, Penny was out at night. Here, I'll show you their little card, so you might want to screenshot that if you need it. They're awesome, sweet, good people. And I know. Anyway, and I'll put it in the description below, you know, where the little tiny arrow is on the right-hand side of the video. I could never find the description for years, you all. Not for years, for months, because I wasn't going on YouTube that long. Anyway, I might be too close up on you. I don't know. Anyway, so I stopped by. We had been there years ago, probably a decade and a half, I don't know, a long time ago. And we got in these 2 little pottery bowls, and maybe we got 4. All I know, maybe I broke 2. I don't know. I'm always breaking things. Not on purpose, not to be mean or anything, just because I drop them. Oh, I got a little. You ever get that, like all of a sudden you feel like a little scab or something on the back of your leg? I don't know what that is. Okay, let's get back on task. So we're going to review probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 apples today, maybe 4 today. And just go down them and tell you what they're supposed to be about and what kind they are, and give a little taste test, okay? So this is the little apple taste test from North Carolina. Now, there's a lot of apples grown in Hendersonville County, and this is just south of Hendersonville County. And there's Edneyville is a real little epicenter for apple growing. But and I worked on an apple farm, believe it or not, and had to prune those trees in the winter time. See, that's the thing with life. A lot of the things, even if something looks easy, lots of times there's a lot behind it to make it work. So anyway, so don't think you've gone unnoticed. If you're doing a simple job, we know that it's not simple. Well, a lot of people don't. But I tell you, I note that when I meet somebody and I go, oh, goodness sakes. Anyway, and when if they're really into it, there's always more to it. Okay, so let's get to it. I'm just gonna tell you the apples we're gonna do, whether it takes me 3 videos or 1 video. The Red Delicious, the Golden Delicious. Now those are pretty common, but I thought I'd start with something kind of common. The Jonagold or the Jonathan apple, the Ambrosia apple, Granny Smith's. A lot of you all know Granny Smith's. For pie making, Cameo, Mutsu, which is Crispin, Fuji, which is good for caramel apples, and Crimson Crisp. So some of them are familiar, some of them aren't, but you may not remember them, and everyone has their kind that they might remember. I always remember the Macintosh, because that was my favorite kind of apple, was the Macintosh. But now it isn't, because I think you all know from another video I talked about, I was a big apple lover as a child, but then I was not. Nope, didn't want apples. And then just the past year and a half, 2 years, I'm just into apples. So anyway, so let's get to it. So it is the Apple Mill. It's a cute little place up on a hill, little white building, and they have some pottery and a few other little tidbits there. And they're just really nice, and you can get some nice fresh apples. They have apple cider too. So let's start with the very beginning. A Red Delicious apple we have. So here is the Red Delicious apple. Now, I have to remind you, I did not buy these in a grocery store. So sometimes you'll see a Red Delicious or Golden Delicious. They might be bigger. They might be brighter and shinier. Why? Because lots of times they wax them. Now, I, on purpose, chose smaller apples. Now, they definitely had bigger, more beautiful apples, but I wanted the size where I could take a nice bite. I like apples for a snack, and I don't want a big, huge one. I actually like them a little smaller than this, believe it or not. But anyway, So I'm going to take a bite, and I apologize. I don't know what I'm going to look like biting on an apple, but I'm going to take a bite, okay? Take a bite, right? Oh! Okay. See? I didn't realize how long it's going to take me to chew on an apple versus like a cookie. But, because of that skin. So the Red Delicious is more of a grainy taste inside. I mean, not grainy, but it's just grainier. I'm just going to read how they describe it. A fine grain, tender, crisp, juicy flesh. And it is really juicy when you take a bite. A mild flavor, pleasing aroma. I'm not really smelling the aroma. But I tell you, when I left the apples in the car earlier today and it was warm out, boy, my car smelled like sour apple. I don't know what's on my legs. It's probably old dried skin. Anyway, and it's excellent for dessert. It's a dessert apple, good a dessert apple. Favorite for eating. It doesn't cook very well, though. I like this apple. 1 to 10. 1, I'm going to throw up. Never want to hear the name of the apple again, and I'm going to go buy them next time I go and want to tell everyone about it. This one, 1 out of 10, I think it's an 8 or a 9. I like this apple. A Red Delicious. A lot of people eat Red Delicious apples for lunch. I'll say it's a 9. 8.5, 9, whatever. 2 thumbs up. Okay, so that's that one. Let's go to the next one. Now, this is another common one. Now, don't worry, we're going to get to some other ones. The Golden Delicious apple. Dee-dee, little golden delicious apple. Apples, apples, apples. Golden Delicious. Firm, crisp, juicy, flavorful flesh. I'm going to rotate it. I'm sorry. I got a skin right stuck there. Go on down, Barbara. It says mild, sweet, distinctive flavor, high quality, all-purpose, shrinks in storage. Now, this has been in my car for about 5 days, and it's doing pretty good. And see, the sun's kind of hitting it. I kind of like how the sun's hitting it. There you go. And it was introduced in the 1900s. It's good for making apple pie. I didn't know that about Golden Delicious. Okay, I'm going to try to take smaller bites because that skin takes a while to chew. Oh, I thought this person was dealing with their backpack, but she had a dog, and the dog was black, but the way he was standing, I tell you, everything goes when you get older, doesn't it? Okay, let me take a bite, right? The Golden Delicious tastes a little more sour than the Red Delicious. I like it. I'm probably going to tell you I like everyone. This is an 8 or a 9 for me, too. I guess this is about probably an 8.5. But if you like a little more sour taste, this is fine. Wonderful apple. Can't go wrong. Okay, I'm going to have a lot to eat when I go home. Maybe I'll try to make an apple pie. Ha! I'd like to think I would. I'd like to think I'd take the time. I'd like to think that I would really make a pie, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm a busy gal. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let me just dig them out. This is the Jonagold, or some people call it the Jonathan. I guess the Jonagold is her real name. See, the lady was so nice, she put name tags on them for me. She went outside. I told her, I said, she had these beautiful little signs. I'd like to say that I'll put them up in the corner in the video, but I doubt I will because I don't know how yet, but I got to learn. Sorry, I keep making videos. Sorry. I'm going to pick my tooth and get that out. Don't you hate it when you're with company or people you don't know and you got something in your tooth or something's bugging you, because you're a human being and you don't know what to do? Oh, gosh. Okay, so this one is the Jonathan or Jonagold. Firm, cracking, juicy, slightly tart flesh, superb, rich, full flavor, finest dessert and eating quality, good cooking. I probably had it way up there. Good cooking properties, introduced in 1968. Now, Jonathan apples, I was raised in the 60s. I thought I'd heard of it, but maybe not. Now, I don't know who this man was, but, and I've asked, but we had a guy named Uncle Jack. Maybe it was just a friend that was named up, but we would go to his apple farm, and I loved those days when we went. And anyway, Jonathan apples are good for making pies. But I love going to that apple farm. Anyway, let me take another bite, right? I might get through this pretty quick, but I got some other things to tell you. Okay. This is not as tart, even though they say the flesh is kind of tart. It's just softer on the inside. Maybe it's a little old. I wouldn't say this is as tart as a Golden Delicious. It's kind of like not super flavorful. I probably would give this one, let's say the other two were 9s and this is like an 8. Maybe a 7.5. Okay, the other two are this. I would say this one is kind of like this. But it's still good. I'm going to put these name tags back on them. I got to learn these things. And my squeaky voice. I tell you, I used to have a very clear voice. Oh, piercing. And it's gotten so mellowed out. And I've lost the high range and the low range. And that's why I don't sing as much. But I try to find songs I could sing. Okay, what are we on? We did 3 apples already. Wow. Okay, let me see what else I got here. I think I'm missing an apple. Okay, here's the next one. Ambrosia. Now this one is a little, like this kind of looks like something you would find on a farm, doesn't it? It's not as shiny. Oh, there he goes. I like it against the shirt. I'll take this shirt with me whenever I eat an apple. Okay, Ambrosia. Now this might be getting boring to you, so hang on. I'm going to diverge again. I'm a mess. I am in the parking lot once again at the Folk Art Center in Asheville, North Carolina. If you ever come to Asheville on the Blue Ridge Parkway, stop at the Folk Art Center. It's got beautiful artwork. It's not like crafty. It's like crafts from the Appalachian Mountains, but they're really nice. Really nice. Nice atmosphere. They have a little tiny shop, excuse me, for the Forest Service, you know, with Smokey the Bear. I love Smokey the Bear. And they have a trail. It'll lead you to the Mountains to Sea Trail. You can actually hike from the Folk Art Center to the Visitor Center, which is further south on the Blue Ridge Parkway. The Visitor Center is very nice, very high ceilings, and it has a movie and all that stuff. Both places have nice bathrooms. I tell you, that's what I got to say, is that bathrooms, to me, a bathroom in a facility or, you know, a building, an organization, or a, you know, gas station reflects the way they kind of keep their things, respect their things, or the way that they, you know, clean everything. Sometimes you go into a bathroom and go, oh my God, if that's how they take care of the food around here. But, excuse me, I just burped. So this is Ambrosia. This is our number 4 already. 4. I can count. So I think I told you about this. Did I read it to you? Oh, goodness sakes, you guys. I tell you, the brain cells just drop off like flies. Well, flies don't drop off, but something like dandruff, but I don't have dandruff. Well, maybe I do I? I don't think so. I did as a young person for a while there, but anyway. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's just look at this beautiful little apple, okay? And this is the Ambrosia. 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 It's a sweet, juicy, honey-like taste, excellent for baking and desserts, good for eating fresh, firm, very low acid. That's good to know if you got acid reflux. This has a little more taste to it than the Jonathan. It's not tart. They said honey taste. You all, I like it. Is that wrong? I like this apple. It's an 8, or I was giving it an 8.5. No, I give it a 9. I don't know. You know, I've never rated apples before. You know what I remember in my memory? My grandmother. I had 2 grandmothers. And on my father's side, she was called Little Grandma because she was short. And then on my mother's side, she was called Big Grandma because she was really tall. And Little Grandma, whenever she come over, when I was like, this had to have been in the 60s, because in the 1960s, because it was when I was like 6, 7 years old, 6, 7, 8, I guess. But I remember we had that metal, that big, heavy metal and the thing you turn and it would peel your apple all the way around. Now, I love the peels, so she would do that to her apples because that's the only way she wanted to do it. And then this guy was jogging really close to me, but he was just trying to look at something and he almost ran into the car. I was like, what's going on? But anyway, and she would just, you do this and the apple turns and you keep doing this and it just peels the apple and then you have this big long curl of apple peel and then I would eat that. But anyway, and then I stopped. I just didn't like the peels and then I stopped eating apples and now I'm back at it. Anyway, I just had that memory. Okay, let's go on. Porter Ambrosia, I'm sorry, honey. I keep neglecting you. Well, it has a little tartness to it. It has a little flavor to it. I really like this apple too. I love me the apples. I love me the apples. I love me the apples. Okay. Ambrosia. Next is Granny Smith. Granny Smith, are you in here, honey? Here comes Granny. Go, Granny, go, Granny, go, Granny, go. Do, 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 do. Granny! Oh, I just remembered a song we sang at camp. It was a swim camp up in Canada, in Camp Alcomac. It was a competitive swim camp. Oh, the songs we sang, I think of them now. I'm going, why were we singing those songs? Anyway, Granny Smith. Now, I was just going to do those first four and stop, but I think, I'm looking at the time, I think we're going to do some more. Granny Smith. Now, you all know a Granny Smith probably. You've heard of those. Look at that pretty apple. It says moderately sweet, snappy flavor, superb eating and cooking qualities. Keep good texture during baking, good shelf life. Yeah, it feels like fresh as a daisy. It's originated in 1968 from some discarded apples Mrs. Thomas brought from Tasmania. Now, it's good for caramel apples and apple pies, too. Granny Smith's. Again, it's weird that I'm hearing this. Of course, this is from the apple mill in Saluda, North Carolina. But that was another one that was familiar to me. I don't know. I didn't look this up on the internet, you all. I just got this information from outside the store. They had the apples in baskets, and then you could pick what you wanted. And they had a little card out about each apple. Okay, let me take another bite, right? Oh, this is hard to eat. Granny Smith. This is sour. Some of your kids might like sour, like those sour guys. I can't remember the name of them. Too sour for me, but be good on a caramel apple, right? Granny Smith. This for me is a 6.5 or a 7. Let me say a 6.5. Not that it's a bad apple. I mean, if I was in the forest and I was hungry, I'd eat it. But it's a little too sour for me. A little harder to bite into, too. And it's very firm, very hard apple. But sour. Alrighty, Didies. Granny Smith. Do you mind if I just plow on? Let's go ahead. We're going to just do this video. Next is, well, what do we got here? Mutsu. Okay, this is, oh, sorry. You don't need to see that. Now, this looks like an apple that was picked right from the tree. See, it's not all pretty and shiny and waxy. And this apple is the M-U-T-S-U, Mutsu or Crispin. There's two names for it. And crunchier flesh, more juice and tart than a golden delicious. Distinctive, delicate, spicy flavor, faintly anise-like. You know what anise is? It's kind of like the taste of licorice. At least that's kind of how I define it. I could be wrong. Good dessert apple, applesauce award winner. It does not shrink in storage. It's great for apple pie. Okay, now I'm not familiar with this little puppy. Okay, I'm going to take a bite, right? Oh! Oh, I tell you, it's funny. You thought I just got excited about sugar. You are wrong. Well, this is kind of sugar too, isn't it? Okay, let me take a bite, right? I almost wish I could spit out the peel so I could go faster. This is an interesting apple. If you ever get a chance to eat a Crispin or a Mutsu, I don't know how you pronounce it, try it. It's got a lot of different flavors in it. I should have a knife with me. I'm going to peel that off. This tastes like an apple you get on a fresh farm. I like this apple. I think this is a 10. At least a 9.5. Can an apple be a 10? Yes, an apple can be a 10. It's very juicy. It says it has a tartness to it. It does. More than the Golden Delicious, yeah. But it's not that tart. You'd see my face scrunch up if it was that tart. I like that one. 1. Hey, you all. Do you remember Johnny Appleseed? Oh. I tell you, growing up, I just love Johnny Appleseed. Oh, the Lord is good to me, and so I thank the Lord for giving me the things I need, the sun and the rain and the apple trees. The Lord is good to me. Do-do-do-do-boop-boop. Now, if you don't believe in God or the Lord, or you're an atheist or agnostic, or you believe in something else, you can say, oh, life is good to me, and so I thank my life for giving me the things I need, the sun and the rain and the apple trees. My life is good to me. That's how I plan to sing it, because I did think I would want to sing that song, Johnny Appleseed. I love Johnny Appleseed. Okay, when I was a kid, I heard about the Johnny Appleseed story, and I think there might have been a cartoon about it. I don't know. I just think the idea of someone walking around the whole country with a big sack of apple seeds and spreading apple trees everywhere. I think that's glorious. This is the Fuji apple. You guys might be familiar with that. Here's a little Fuji. Fuji apple. Fuji apple. Oh, Mutsu is... Oh, yeah. Fuji apple is good for caramel apples? I'm not sure. Okay. It's a quality apple, they say. Well, this is not as pretty as you might get at the store. With fairly poor appearance. Okay, well then, there you go. Yeah, it's not the best appearance. It doesn't look like you could put it in the picture book. Well, that part you would. It says, crisp, juicy, slightly subacid. That means it's got some acidity, but not a lot. It's just moderately tart. With white flesh and outstanding texture. Good keeper. Developed in Japan in 1962. See, this is blowing me away. Fuji apple. Okay, probably from Fuji. No, they said Japan. Okay. Let me take a bite, right? Okay. Gotta talk to you. I have a confession. Lately, I've been living on Fuji apples. I tell you, that Mutsu, so much better. So many more flavors. I'm just eating apples, girlfriends and boyfriends, and theys, thems, theirs. No, that's too tart. Well, it shows you how much I like apples. I don't say this one has a lot of flavor. It's more of a woodsy kind of flavor. What's the one? The Ambrosia one was really good too, wasn't it, y'all? Now, I live on these. But I would give this a 7. Comparison to everything else. Who thunk it? See, that's what happens when you compare. That's why it's good not to compare. Okay, you all, can we finish this right tonight? Okay, the Cameo. The Cameo apple. Look at this apple. Boop, 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 boop. Beautiful apple. But it's kind of like got that little... It's not the prettiest thing in the box. But if you shine that up and put wax on it, it'll look pretty. That terrible? Why do we feel like we have to do that kind of stuff, like plump and dye into tomatoes and all that crazy stuff? I wish we'd get down to the way things were, but I don't, because so many good things have happened in the world. Everyone's so sour on everything. And you know, yeah, we've really screwed up the planet. We've really screwed things up. But there's goodness in this planet. And, you know, there's a machine going around the ocean cleaning up all the plastic. We just got to make more of them. And it's funny because every time there's a change, people think it's for the good, you know, just like when we had brown paper bags and they felt like that the forest was being, you know, chewed up too much. Then we went to plastic. We thought that's the answer. And then we thought, the plastic doesn't deteriorate. At least with paper, it's recyclable and you can grow more trees so there's more fresh air and make more paper than plastic. It's kind of like the computers now. Here, I'm using one. I got a cell phone. But I just mean, you know, they say it's in the cloud. Well, that's a facade. That's an illusion. It's in these big steel warehouses with big steel contraptions holding all the garbage and all the waste that you would have just burned in a piece of paper. Oh, I'm going on a rant, aren't I? I got to check myself. Check yourself, Barbara. We got to get on. Okay, what am I eating, you guys? I'm eating the Cameo. Okay. I'm just going to cut myself off. The Cameo is eat a tart flavor. Firm and crisp, stores very well. That looks like a hearty soul. Come here, little Cameo. It is firm and crisp. You all, I'm going to do something that's really weird. I washed these, but when it put some more water on it. This would be like a 6.5. When you first bite it, you go, and then you go, like you're eating a little bit of manure or something. Maybe it's a 5. Would I eat this again? If I was really hungry. I keep eating it. That's what I do in these things. If it's something really good, I don't eat as much. Well, that's not totally true. But if it's not good, I keep eating it trying to figure out what to tell you. Okay, the Cameo is not my cup of tea. I think I give this a 6. Might even be a 5. I think my fingers are going like this. What do they say it's good for? It stores well. Well, in the middle of the winter, you might want to. Okay, we've got 2 more. We have done so many, you all. I was going to try to end it early, but we're not going to. We're going to just do this little puppy. Okay, didn't I do the Fuji? I did the Fuji, didn't I? Were there 2 Fujis in here, you all? Did I do the Fuji apple? Yeah, I already did the Fuji, girlfriends. Oh, gosh. You can't take me anywhere. Okay, well, this will be a good test. Because now I don't trust myself. I think I decided to get 2 Fujis because I like Fuji. Now Fuji's not rating up there with all my others, is it? Yeah, I already did Fuji. Okay. I got 2 Fujis. That's not half as good. Okay, I'm on the last one, you all. How many have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we're doing the last one. I didn't think I could do it in one thing. So Johnny Appleseed. Let me tell you this one thing before we finish. Johnny Appleseed. Oh, I just love Johnny Appleseed. Well, one time Penny and I were traveling. We were in Pennsylvania, and we stayed at this hotel. Or we came to the hotel. I don't think we stayed there. Maybe we did. Anyway, excuse me. I got apple in my tooth. I'm not going to keep it in there. Okay, excuse me. So, we got there, and right in the front was this huge Johnny Appleseed man. It was a huge statue. It was bigger than the hotel, taller than the roof. It was so big, I stood by. I got pictures of me. Maybe we did stay there, because the next morning when we were checking out, or we maybe ate breakfast there, I don't know. They had another Johnny Appleseed, but it was like life size. Got my picture taken with him too. He actually looked just like my high school boyfriend. I dated him 2 years in high school and a year in college, or half a year in college. Was it a year or was it half a year? I think it was a year. Anyway, 3 years, pretty much. And he's a good guy. But he looked just like him. So then when I did the learning centers, I was a coordinator of some learning centers in low-income communities, and one team decided that they wanted to do Apple Week for their children, and they made baked apples, they made apple pie, they made applesauce. It's just a cool idea, you know, talking about apples and the seeds and all that propagation. And so I was telling them, I said, this is such a great idea. I said, so I told them all about my experience and how I love it, Johnny Appleseed. So they asked me to come in and talk about Johnny Appleseed. And I brought my big 8x10s of me with my Johnny Appleseed. I'm such a weirdo, but I love my Johnny Appleseed. Okay, last one, Crimson Crisp. Have you ever heard of that? I have not. I don't know. I'm not an apple connoisseur. It says a sweet tart flavor, good for eating fresh and juicing. Very crisp store as well. Okay. So this, if you like to juice, I've juiced before. Believe it or not, looking at me. I juiced for 4 days one time. I was on vacation. I kept thinking I was going to need the bathroom, so I never went out and walked on the beach. Dadgummit, I could have. For 3 days, I didn't do anything. I mean, not much happened, so I could have been walking that beach the whole time, but I didn't know. I didn't want to be caught way down the beach with, you know, tutti frutti going on. You all. How are you doing? Will you tell me how you're doing? And if you're bored to tord, I'm sure you've already gone by now, but I'm almost done. Hang on with me. Okay, so let's take a bite of this Crimson Crisp. Crimson Crisp. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Okay. This tastes like an apple my grandma would eat. Isn't that funny? I don't know why I say that. Ooh, it's very juicy. I give it an 8. Not a lot of taste to it. When you don't like apples, you don't want them. Someone told me. I can't remember who it was, and I'm sorry. Hey, you all. When I don't say your name, I can't remember anything hardly. I mean, I can remember stuff. I don't have a problem or anything. But, I mean, I don't retain things well anymore. It does not mean I don't care for you or don't like you. I think you guys are all the best. You're the best. Oh, really quick, too, okay, let me just finish this. It's a fun, juicy apple, good for hiking. That's what I'd say. Not a lot of taste to it. I give it an 8. I want to say 7.5, but I think it deserves an 8. Very good. I was going to tell you something. I was talking about hiking. Oh, so you all, I don't know if anyone's listening to me right now, but if you are, some folks, and Ray has kind of started it saying, you know, all the viewers that are on your channel, we should have a name, kind of a group name. And so I don't know if I can remember them all now because there's like 5 different names people have thought of. Barb Wires, Barbalicious, Barb's Barbies, Barb's Besties, the Sunshine Group or the Sunshine Team. I can't remember that one. I just heard about it today. And anyway, I will list them, and then you guys start letting me know and throw out some new names, other names if you want, okay? I just want to tell you this last thing, is that for pies, the Cortland apple, the Honey Crisp, and the Northern Spy are supposed to be good. Of course, I didn't have those here. And the Honey Crisp is also good for caramel apples. I've not used a Honey Crisp for caramel apples. The Bray Barn is a descendant of the Granny Smith and is good for pies too. That's all I know. But we've learned something today, or maybe we haven't. But we've had a good time, I hope, or at least I have. I'm always having a good time. I like doing these things, y'all. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just keep on making them. I don't know what's going on. I told Penny, I said, by the time I might be able to make a penny or two from this, I'll be tired of making them. I'll stop doing them. Oh, who cares? I'm having a good time. That's all that matters. Have some fun in your life, y'all. Who cares? Don't let anybody judge you. If you like to look at ants on the side of the road, you look at ants on the side of the road. If you like chestnuts, well then, or you like dissecting a black walnut, go ahead. Make black dye from it and do something with it. You can do wonderful things in nature. You can make paintings from just taking the leaves, the grass, the dandelions, and different flowers, and you can make beautiful sketches from it. I swear I've done that. Anyway, I talked to a family who didn't have money, and she said, I can't afford things. And I said, let me take your daughter and you somewhere. And we just walked around the apartment building, and I had her daughter make a picture of just the things in nature, the dirt and stuff. Try it, you guys. Okay, I'm talking too much, you all. I had fun. I hope you're all doing. Hang on if you're not. You know, I keep saying the tide might turn. And even if I always say things are going to get either worse, they're going to get better. They might stay the same for a while, but things do change. You all hang in there and know that I'm thinking of you. I really am, okay? You all take good care, and until the next time, bye-bye.